Okay, students, welcome back. Happy Monday. It's April 27th, and this is a screencast video that I put together for you to inform you about the week's assignment and try to help clarify anything that we're doing and answer any questions. First thing I'll start with is a joke. What do we want? Racing car noises. When do we want them? Meow. Okay, so first thing, we are going to this week. I have these slides. I would like you to follow them to help you complete your literary analysis project. I broke things up into segments, but you may complete them in however many days or however many segments makes the most sense for you. I broke it up into 4 segments so that you do a little each day, or you can try to do more, over the course of a day or two. So it's really up to you, but please follow along. It'll hopefully help chunk the information and how you can try to get through this project without feeling overwhelmed and, kind of see how it's broken up. You will need your reading book or short story, whichever you're using. Any of the literary analysis materials that you completed last week. You should have completed your summary and your literary analysis. So the literary analysis being your claim with your 3 pieces of evidence and reasoning. If you did not finish that, it would be a good time you need to do that first before you move on to your artist vision and your art, which is what we're going to be working on. So as you can see, we're going to be focusing on making your creative piece and adding your artist vision to your artist statement this week. We'll talk more about that. So I broke it up into 4 days. The first day today would be to check in and follow this PowerPoint, check in, and then start drafting. So let's talk a little bit about what that is. There's a personal check-in prompt in the community folder I'd like everybody to complete. There's an opportunity just to share a little bit about what's going on with you. I have some options and tried to make it a little more interesting and creative this week, so take a look at those. When you're done with that, go to step 2, which is to review your claim in your literary analysis that you wrote last week. Make sure you have a piece of art that can represent that claim well. So if your character is timid but becomes braver by the end of the story, how are you going to represent that in your art? What colors would you use if you're going to write a poem or something like that? How would that show that change from timidity to bravery? If your book teaches that treating others with kindness and compassion can change them for the better, how can you represent that in your art? What objects, facial expressions would you include? What might you write in an additional chapter if that's the art you're going to approach to show how that change continued? Give you a couple examples. This is actually a student's work. When talking to colleagues, they did do a project like this in the past, so we took some of these examples and to try to help guide you. So for instance, let's say the claim was in the book George by Alex Gina, George struggles with people judging her and accepting her for who she is. That's really the claim. And then after that, it says the tension is mostly resolved when George comes out to her friends and family. She goes to the zoo as Melissa with her best friend. So this is an example of a piece of art. We're going to talk more detail about it later, but you can kind of see this is the art as it relates to the claim that George struggles with people judging her and accepting her for who she is. And so there's a bunch of things around those 2 characters that you can see in this image to try to reflect that claim. Let's look at the next one. Here's another one for The Stars Beneath Our Feet. I know some of you have read that. So in The Stars Beneath Our Feet by David Barclay Moore, the main source of tension is Lolly trying to overcome his sadness and find his own path after Jermaine's death. He does this by building with Legos and spending time with his family. Again, the first sentence here is really the claim, and that's the focus. The next is sort of more of an explanation. So you can see here, this is an example, and they used, different color, kind of used the negative shadow silhouette of the main character there walking. So you can kind of see how they were trying to reflect that in the art. So, step 3. So now that you've kind of seen some examples, you completed your personal check-in, and you've thought about how your claim might, how it could potentially be a piece of art, now you need to choose an art form that you would like to use to demonstrate that claim. I recognize that you may not have access to all the supplies you usually do. Just do your best with whatever you have available to you, and you can see the list below for some ideas. And we did talk last week a little bit about some of your ideas. So if you have other things, by no means is this the only thing you can do. This is just ways to get you thinking about what you can do. Step 4, sketch out a rough idea or outline of what your project will look like or include, just drafting. And then step 5, I included a discussion post where it's called art project planning, or art planning. So you'll be looking, please try to answer that to start getting people to think about, their own projects and to see what other people are doing. So you'll write, what is your claim? So remember, we did all of those since and if last week. So choose the claim that you've moved forward with, and describe to us a little bit about what the project will look like and how will your project represent your claim. So that would be day 1. So day 2 will be actually just working on your art. Now that you brainstormed and drafted ideas, you're just going to work the whole day on creating that final draft of your art and getting it ready. It might take you 2 days to do that. It might take you 1 day. It might take you a little more. So just whatever works best for you, but you're going to be working on your art. Then I would suggest the 3rd day, after you've completed your art, you can start working on your artist vision. So you'll write your artist vision, you'll add it to your artist statement where you already have your summary and literary analysis. And each question should be answered in about 2 to 4 sentences. Please see the example on the next slide. So like I said, I'd show you more detail about that first image. We'll look at that in a moment. But you want to describe the components of your piece. You want to explain how your art demonstrates the claim. And then you want to try to talk a little bit about why did you select the medium you chose. I know it can be tempting to say things like, I chose this painting because I don't like writing, or some other version of that. In fact, I know that's a default thing a lot of people go to. But instead of doing that, I'm going to ask you to please choose something else. Explain what is awesome about your art form and how it helps you get your message across. All right, let's look at an example. Here we can see, the image that we looked at earlier, and here is the artist's vision. Here are the different components. My artistic piece is of George in the foreground with Kelly next to her and the school behind them. To the left, there is a sign to the Bronx Zoo. To the right, there is a sign saying auditions for Charlotte this way, girls only. The background is a rainbow that drips down at the bottom of the page, and the words girl, boy, identity, and reputation on the top of the page. The school is in the background because of that is where George was put down for who she was several times, but also where she got to show the world who she was by being Charlotte. So it is a mix of bittersweet. The signs are there because the Bronx Zoo was the main point of resolution, and not being able to audition for Charlotte played a large role in the tension, which is why I put the rainbow in the background to symbolize the LGBTQ plus flag, and it drips to the bottom because it's not a perfect world, and people get put down every day for being LGBTQ. The medium I chose to work in was watercolor and charcoal. I watercolored the background and Kelly because the pride flag needed to be colorful. And I watercolored Kelly because she's a big part in helping George be comfortable with who she is. I didn't draw George in color watercolors like the rest. This is because colors often symbolize being happy, and I didn't want to convey that message since the book is based on George and her struggles. So instead of watercoloring her, I drew her in charcoal so she would stand out from the rest, being the main character, and the dark color symbolizes her struggles throughout the book. So just the thing to note about this is that the artist, and in the artist's vision, took the time to really talk about each part of the piece of art and how it really connects not only to the claim, but how it connects, why they chose the elements they did. Remember, we want to be conscious as artists, as writers, that everything is intentional, right? And that everything that you've chosen, you did it with some intention. So talk about that and what really inspired you, or what caused you, initiated you to do these things. All right. Last, this is the submission portion. So just please pay attention to this. It's going to be a little different, as we all have different types of art, and they'll have to be submitted in different files, through different files. Before you get into the submission, I'm going to ask that you just at least look over the rubric. Double check your work, make sure you have a good summary, claim, evidence, reasoning. Your artist vision has all the components. Is it organized well? Did you edit it? Does the grammar look good? And then look over your piece one last time, your artistic piece. Now you should be ready to submit. First, make sure you have your artist statement saved in a good place that's easy to access. Take a photo of your art or save it as a screenshot, link, or easy to read file. Please try to find a format like a JPEG or a GIF or something like that that everyone will be able to access. Whatever format you choose, it must be under 512 megabytes. Experiment with options until you find something that is under this size. So keep both your artist statement, whatever document you save that in, whether it's a Word document or Google Doc or something else, keep that handy along with your art. You're going to need it for the upload for the submission. Now, first, uploading your art. For those of you who have a photo or screenshot, this is probably one of the easiest ways to do this. So you're just going to go to the week of April 27th through May 1st folder. You're going to open up the Project Gallery Walk submission post. In that post, you're going to be going to the Add Media. Okay, you can see it's located here. Add Media. You're going to click that, and then you're going to click on Attach Files. You're going to find your art, whether it's a photo or screenshot, whatever that is, and you're going to upload it. That's that. But if you don't have a photo or screenshot, let's say it's a piece of music, let's say it's something like that, you're going to go first to the week of April 27th, May 1st folder. Then you're going to click directly on the thumbnail of the On Art reference image. And you're going to save this. You're going to right click and save that file. And you're going to keep it with your other files. Now open up the Project Gallery Walk submission post. You're going to add the media just like we did in the last file, right? So add media, attach file, and then you're going to find the art reference image you just downloaded, which is this. You're going to put that in the place and upload that. Then on the next slide, I'll give you instructions for uploading your artist statement, and if you don't have a photo or screenshot for your other work, how you'll do that. So uploading your artist statement. Open up your artist statement document, go into your post and click on the comments field. Press Ctrl-A to highlight the whole thing, then Ctrl-C to copy the text. Okay, copy and paste your text into the comments field. It's Ctrl-V, that will be Ctrl-V, and then take time to format it the way you need to. Click Post, and you have now successfully completed your work. Now, did I miss something? One of the things I'm thinking is, if you have a link to your art, you're going to put it at the top of this here, okay, before your artist statement, in the comments field. So you'll be putting your work in the comments field. Now you'll need to place your art link or copy and paste your art writing into the comment section first. You're going to do that before you copy and paste artist statement. Now that's it. I'm out of time. Please go through the PowerPoint on your own and do the best you can to understand how to do this. I'm hoping this makes it a little more straightforward, but basically you're going to be uploading your image and then copy and pasting your artist statement.